6:30. Call the meeting to order, please.
Kick the can down the road.
Mr. Ciccarone, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry for coming in at the last minute. Special guest.
Yes.
Catalina.
We have.
How do you say your last name, Catalina?
Celentano.
Celentano. Okay, thank you.
And she's from Public Service Company, and she'd like to review some of the services that you folks provide and find out what we do with respect to.
If you're unhappy with your bill, she's going to answer that.
Hey, girl. No, I actually just want to thank you, by the way, for having me over tonight. I really appreciate it. It looks like you guys are going to be really busy this evening, so I won't take very long. But I did want to, if you don't mind passing that on, just introduce myself. I haven't really had a chance to come over too much over to Brookfield, even though I've been in the area. I am the Community Relations Manager for this area for PSNH. So I'm the person who you talk to during storm restorations to make sure if there's any closed roads or any critical facilities that need to be taken care of. And I just wanted to make sure a couple of things, that somebody in town is getting my storm emails. If you're getting any emails when I send them out saying, you know, PSNH is expecting a storm and we're prepared and this is during restoration process, updates on the restoration. Is anybody from the town getting those?
Yes, you send them to Brookfield Selectmen, I believe. Yes, yeah. And I see those.
Okay, good. Okay.
Well, how do you see them when you're?
You can read mail from home.
The mail here?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you sent it to the individual home address.
No.
I can if you want, or I can send them to the general mailbox.
The general mailbox is fine. I can access it.
Okay.
At the electric side.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to just clarify with you all is we are in the process of updating the list that we have in our system of the critical facilities in all of the towns. I think the last time this was updated was 3 or 4 years ago. And for Brookfield, the only critical facility as defined is critical to the infrastructure of the town, so that if power goes out, that's a priority for it to be put back on, kind of like water towers, fire, police, town halls, shelters, that kind of a thing. And the only one that I have for Brookfield is the town hall.
And I think that means
The town hall or the townhouse?
Well,
the
I have
townhouse.
267 Wentworth Road, which is
This building.
Here, this building. So your shelter, you say, is next door?
Yes, same meter, same service, same meter.
Yeah, there's 3 buildings in the complex that are involved. Brad Williamson.
Hi.
EMD.
Oh, nice to meet you. Are you getting my emails?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. It's the office building, which is our EOC.
Okay.
Next door, the townhouse, which is our shelter. And then right in back is our highway maintenance facility. One building. We're all served off the same meter. We have our own transformer out front.
Okay.
The problem is the breaker is right down the intersection of the road. 500, 600 feet. So whenever something happens beyond this building, we lose everything. And we're not always exactly, I would say, proud to get restored, but the density in this building is fairly light.
Yeah.
So I realize that to concentrate on larger populations, however, this is our shelter. And our EOC.
Maybe at some point, not at this venue, but at some point, we can talk about the possibility of getting that moved.
Sure, that would be fine with us.
Okay.
Because my house is the first service aside the breaker too. The neighbors have electricity, you know, that's frustrating.
Yes, it is. Okay, I can be in touch with you at some point, soon.
Sure.
Outside of this venue, and we can talk about that and maybe bring in some experts to see if that's a possibility.
Definitely. That would be excellent.
Because because that seems kind of not really workable, for, especially for your critical facilities here that are, you know, your shelter. Okay. I'll leave you my card. Other than that, your police and fire, I understand, is taken care of by Wakefield.
Right.
Your school is in Woodford. And that's it? There's no water towers or pumps or anything like that in town?
No. Pretty easy for you.
I know, that's great. That's great. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you need from PSNH? Any other questions or issues?
If we have to get a hold of you without going through the normal dial-up line, this is your card?
Yes, that's my direct line, absolutely.
Okay.
So you can always get a hold of me that way.
Good.
We need one additional card unless it's under the, do I have another card there?
Yeah.
But you guys have one here.
My number is, the 800 number is. Only if there's a storm, it's 24/7.
How many people here would like their electric to go on first? Raise your hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
So you've already done the pledge and the
Yep.
pencils? All right. Public comments. Mr. Fountain.
House Bill 130, relative to the wiring of gas stations to receive generators. If anyone thinks that's a good idea, please support it through your representatives.
You got that?
Yes.
Okay. So that's HB
130. It's in committee now.
All right. Any other public comments? Hearing none. We'll move on. Pam Fraizer.
I'm here, but we're waiting for Ken Fifield to show up. I think you had contacted him at 6:45.
I did. Oh, I told him about 6:40 to 6:45.
You will go
Okay.
ahead and do something else.
We'll move on. Sure there's no other public comments? No filler time? All right. We'll do the approval of minutes. January 8th, 2013.
This is accurate? I'm sorry.
Did you make a motion?
No, he
No, no.
said he didn't find anything.
I didn't either. So I'll
Okay.
make a motion that we accept them as presented.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes for the non-public selectmen's meeting on January 17th, 2013.
I think we went into RSA 91A3E, not C.
I think you're right.
Right? Yeah, all right.
Everybody agrees.
Making clarification for the all set of purposes. Oops, sorry, Bill.
I think it should, I think somewhere, oh, it did say, I'm sorry.
It is E.
Okay. I make that change.
Now, does this imply that there was a roll call to go into it?
Yes.
And come out.
And there was a second roll call vote to come out of the meeting.
All right, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yep.
It's on both.
Make a motion to accept?
Second, that's changed.
Any further discussion on this one? Finding none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we'll move on to Treasurer's report. Did she leave
I
again?
think she wants to present something. You're up.
Treasurer's report?
Oh, treasurer's report.
It's a busy night.
She's next.
So I have, I believe, finished the expenses and revenue for the end of the year. Expenses, I'm 100% sure of. Revenue, I'm 99.9% sure of. So you can each have a copy, and I made extras if anybody in the audience would like one. And here are bills to,
Is this one copy or?
it's one copy. And it says 1 of 11, it's only 1 of 10. The last page was
Blank?
blank.
All right.
So bills, I'm giving you a couple of bills for the planning board administrative assistant because he was writing notes on what he did. Oh, they go every which way. Don't you have fun?
Okay, just for the public's interest, we just finished the year 2012 for expenses and income, and our total appropriations were $766,936. Our actual expenses were $730,403, which means the town came in under budget, $36,533. So well done to all those departments and people that made that happen.
Only paying these two. Sorry.
She's going to check the balance forward. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Business. Is it the same? No, different.
No, different. Different time frames.
They're out there doing that snow dance, aren't they? It's spitting.
That may be,
The signs, is that duplicate?
it probably is a duplicate, yeah. They probably want me to send one back.
So you're just gonna keep that one, right?
All right,
So there's no confusion?
and that's the shipping,
What's that?
the same they shipped it.
Okay.
This one has a paper under it you may want to look at. Two bills, so that one and this one.
I have a question for the public, if I could ask it.
A question for,
The public,
all right, question for the public.
how many of you have received the thing and you can go with different suppliers of electricity? Have any of you done it or comments on it?
Talking about different suppliers of electricity?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of using,
Switch to NH Power.
Are you pleased with it? Or how much have you saved, do you think?
Well, the rates just went up for PSNH, 28% is my understanding. I'm not getting a bill simply because I'm not using them anymore. But I was told that by someone that has them. And the rate that NH Power guaranteed me was, I can't remember how many cents per kilowatt hour beneath the rate that PSNH was charging. But it was, I think it was point something cents per kW hour, and they guaranteed it for 2 years. So it's approximately 29.5% less than PSNH because they just had the price increase, and a big one. So, and I switched to them in December because I knew that was coming.
Dick, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I switch, but I don't pay the bills.
You switch, she pays the bills.
It went from 7.2 cents a kilowatt hour to 9.4, I think it was. It's about a 35% increase.
So that's PSNH?
That's PSNH.
Okay. So the new one's, under that.
I switched my bill this month. I let one bill come in under PSNH and then went to NH Power, and I was up $26. Opposed to my, other bills prior to that. So I said, I wouldn't have found that where I was at.
I wonder if the town should do the same.
Would be worth looking into. My understanding with that is the lines, there's still a line charge from PSNH. The service charge, the delivery charge comes from PSNH, but the power is supplied by another supplier.
Correct. But the average house that uses 500 kilowatts maybe per month, you're talking about a 2.5 cents difference, about $10 on the bill.
$10 buys 2 gallons of milk.
Take
For now.
2 months, you can take your wife out to breakfast.
Where do you go for breakfast?
The diner, come on.
That's if I don't eat.
For service. You're charging.
Katie's, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Evidently.
yes.
I was told by, actually, Paul Tremblay, who worked for PSNH, so it might be a biased view, but he seemed to think that a lot of these companies will end up going up and down, and then we may end up chasing our tails later to keep up with things. I don't know if that was from someone who works for PSNH, but.
This one, I have to question our hourly rate to have it looked at. Well, that's the rate for a half an hour, $93. This seems pretty...
I'm definitely in the wrong field.
Unless it's something to do with traffic, but that seems a little ridiculous.
$187 an hour? Yeah, that's what they're charging.
Well, I think we should hold it until...
So this is mine, this is.
Weber
for the
Energy
payroll
Fuels. For coming out and looking at the
For
furnace.
QuickBooks
Yep.
for the year, and then W-2s and 1099 forms.
I'll do a share.
Yes, Dick, they did bill me for QuickBooks payroll.
Can't sit on it too long.
They
I'm just
didn't
gonna stop
bill
oil, but that's
Dan.
ridiculous.
Oh,
Again.
nice.
Okay. So, you gonna call them?
Mr. Thacker, could you? I'm
Sure.
in Concord tomorrow. So.
Sure.
You deal with them as well, so.
Let us know.
I thought you'd boil it up.
I'll call them
Yeah.
for another bill.
Got no more.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all I have.
I submitted one for a printer cartridge.
Is it a bill or is it just
A reimbursement.
Expense.
It is a reimbursement.
You gotta call it.
I have it.
$130.
That was nice of you.
Thank you.
Here.
Yeah, I guess he's trustworthy.
And who is it to be,
We bought.
to Jessica or
No,
to you?
I bought Jessica for her printer in the assessor's office, a new cartridge.
Okay. So could you just write on there, paid owed to Rich,
Sure.
so I don't pay Jessica?
She went on.
Thank
Ed
you.
gave us that.
Here's all the bills. You got anything else?
That's it for me.
Cool beans. All right, we're gonna jump back around. And now we're going to open it up to Ms. Fraizer. Welcome, Chief. Thanks for joining us.
How's it going tonight?
Asked to be put on the agenda because for the peace of mind and the comfort of the citizens that attend these meetings, I would just like to have police presence. because there are people that are armed, that are carrying guns, and with all the, a lot of the, of course, lately with all the stuff going on. But in any case, just if people need to feel they have to have guns to come here, I would like, either I need to carry one, or I just, which I don't think I need to do. And so I talked to Chief Fifield a little bit about this to see what a solution might be. I came up with a couple of them, and but we, I think, agreed upon the idea that if someone on the force is available, that at different meetings where there's large amounts of people, or where things could get, discussions could get hot and heavy or whatever, that a policeman be, a police officer be present. And that way, for two reasons. Number one, it would assure me, because I know there's someone there that has been through the police force that knows what they're doing with firearms, as opposed to people I don't know, because they're all concealed or whatever. And I'd rather do that than me carrying a rifle around, that's for sure.
I think you get in trouble if you carry a rifle around.
You can, can't you?
I don't think you can carry a rifle.
No?
You can carry a pistol.
Yeah, you could carry a rifle. It's a little awkward.
Yeah, but I just say you have my rifle next to me. I think that's very awkward.
Keep the meeting short.
Especially if you just saw the way I shot. But then,
Okay.
anyway, when I talked to Chief Fifield, he said it wasn't just me that was concerned about this, but a number of citizens are. And I've spoken to a number of people who maybe they don't regularly come, or maybe they at some point might want to, but they have been staying away. They had no idea that people would even think about coming to a public meeting armed. So they definitely wouldn't come. And I think it's keeping people away. I think it's keeping people, it's definitely keeping me out of the public eye. So, and I just thought I'd do something about it.
Okay. Is that it?
That is, I would like to request from the board that you allow the citizens, or ask Chief Fifield that if a person could, an armed officer, or
Okay.
could be
Well-
here at meetings.
Okay. Well, just for the record, anytime that we've asked for police presence at any of our meetings that we felt was going to be heated or rambunctious, the police department have always responded.
Right.
And they've always provided an officer for town meetings and
Right.
for any additional meetings that we've requested them. So they've done a wonderful job there. I do believe that if a citizen wanted to attend a meeting and felt that they needed a police presence at that meeting, that they could call the Wakefield Police Department and they would arrange for an officer to be here. I personally don't think that we need an officer here for every meeting. I think that the police department has better ways to spend their time than being at a meeting that it's not necessary for. But if a citizen does feel that they need an officer, I'm sure Wakefield will be more than happy to supply that officer. Chief?
Yeah, and just kind of wrapping the whole thing together as a package, I did talk to Pam, and, you know, just going back to her original concern, and what our feelings are, or my feelings on it are. You know, this is a state where it is free to carry a firearm and exercise, you know, self-defense. We encourage that. We think an armed citizenry is the best deterrent to crime. But in certain situations, you know, some people, you know, it's like how some people dress versus how some people don't dress. Some people are a little uncomfortable with it. And my posture has always been, anytime somebody's uncomfortable and you'd like to have a police officer, by all means, just give us a call. We'll come down. And we get twice the bang out of it at the police department. One thing is, when we come to a public meeting, especially if we're asked, when we come to a public meeting, we get to interact with people in a different nature. We're not there for a call. We're not there for a complaint. So we get to hear from people about, hey, what's going on? What can we do better? What are things going on? And I love that feedback. So anytime that you want somebody,
We can put you on our bi-weekly agenda if you'd like.
actually,
Or a monthly, you know,
If you
once a
put-
month or once a
Yeah,
quarter?
if you were to put, Sergeant Lamb makes a schedule, if you were to put him on the email, let him know of the meetings, he'll, in most cases, if an officer's not doing something, they'll pop over here. So that's one thing, so we like to come anyways. The second thing is, different people have different opinions about firearms. I particularly feel very strongly that you should and have a right to carry it, and I feel that carrying things like that are the best deterrent, but not everybody feels like me. So if someone who doesn't feel like that is more comfortable with a police officer in the back, we fully understand that, and we, you know, so we'd be glad to be here. But anyways, you know, I think things go pretty smoothly over here, and I think it's a pretty cordial group, and anytime that you guys want to see it, we're glad to come. On another note, well, I have, I guess, the forum I'd like to drop off.
Fantastic, it's our report. We can make sure that it gets in the book.
So anyways, you know, if there's anything else, I'd be glad to answer that, but that's
Well, I
about
will
it.
touch bases with Sergeant Long.
Okay.
Thank you. So, we have permission to give them a call if we feel it's secure.
Absolutely, that's your right as a citizen.
Right.
And that's what they are here for. And that's what our taxpayers pay, our tax dollars pay for. So, and again, Wakefield Police Department has been more than gracious with us. They have always responded to our request, and we thank them very strongly for that. It's a great relationship we have with Wakefield PD. So,
Can I come?
sure, I was going to open it up to the floor for a second.
Sure, do that first.
I'm going to open up comments to the floor, because I know this is such a strong feeling that a lot of people have in regards to this issue. So I'm going to open it up to the floor, but I'm going to limit your comments to less than 2 minutes. So, Mr. Peckham.
First, I'd like to compliment Chief Fifield on his organization. They're one of the most professional departments in the state. Ask anybody in the state. My question is, Chief, you have a list of everyone that has a license to carry. Has there ever been an incident with any person on that list where they have broken the law?
No, we have had a rare occasion, and my mind is not going to do the thing between Wolfboro and Wakefield, but where a person who has had a permit has engaged, not with a firearm to our knowledge, in a crime, and then we've pulled the permit. You know, so sometimes if somebody gets in trouble, we find out about it and say, well, sorry. Very rare, but no one that we've issued a permit to has misused that right, or that privilege, or however you want to term it. But so I haven't regretted the permits I've put out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other? Yes, sir. Can you state your name for the record?
Brian Klobuchar. Chief, if you had an officer here, would that mean the officers regularly on duty would be here instead of on the streets? Or would this be an extra detail or something along those lines?
Usually it's part of regular duty. So what'll happen is if, you know, say, for example, you say, hey, can you pop over? Usually there's 2 officers out. So one of the officers will come over to the meeting. If something major comes up, if something minor is coming up, the other officer's going to handle it. If something major comes up, he's probably going to leave the meeting. Yeah, so
we possibly pull an officer away from it?
Possibly,
being
but
close
pretty...
to respond to somebody because of what, all due respect, seems to be a silly issue, but it'd be over here because somebody doesn't come with a right and...
Yeah, in comfort, like I say, we get extra value out of it too, because I like the officers stopping in at meetings. And for instance, I tell the sergeant, you know, pay attention to when they put the coffee board sign up, make sure somebody stops in. No, half the time we don't, but I'd rather they did, you know, because the only way we're going to find out what is going on and what concerns you guys is to actually stop here, you know. So.
Thank you.
We try not to bother you unless we have an issue. Any other comments?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can you state your name?
Mike Lewis. I live in Brookfield, of course. And I read today that more murder and mayhem is committed with hammers than with handguns. And by the way, if a person is concerned at a meeting like this, they can always hire an armed security guard. That's it.
Okay. Any other comments? Yes, sir. Can you stand and raise and state your name, please?
Okay, my name is Lou Vita. I'm a past representative, and I'm in the town of Middletown.
Okay.
And just make 4 quick points. One, the existing law that was put into effect by the state legislature back in 2011 was meant to compensate for various towns enacting legislation which really is unique to the town. In other words, somebody driving through one town, believing he obeyed the law, to go to the adjacent town and find out he's a violation of law. They find out the hard way when somebody pulled them over because the definition of maybe the school zone did or did not include the school bus that was parked next to with a hunting rifle in his car, and you'd be in violation. We're trying to even out the regulations throughout the state that pertain to firearms and prevent entrapment. What's being asked for here, if the town or selectmen went along and came up with a ordinance or a modification, would be that you've taken an oath to support the Constitution of New Hampshire. This is part of it. This is the section 129, sorry, 159, colon 26. And I think it's sort of unfair. There is a better way to do this. And it allows everybody to get into the act, and that is use your representative here.
There, we have 2.
No, but the thing is that...
Yeah, there's one behind you.
Okay. Anyway, the deal is that if there is you're here to represent the people, and if there's you have a comment, you have a concern, that's how representatives get enough information to come up with legislation. That's what legislators do. So if you can, there is a strong feeling that in the town that we want to make a change. It should be statewide, and the way the path to that to the state house is through the representative. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to mention on Lou's thing, we weren't talking about making any ordinances or any changes to the law. I'm just saying, if police presence can be present, in fact, in Middleton, at all meetings, or almost every meeting, there is a policeman, all selectmen's meetings for sure. There's 1 or 2 of them there, and it's a very comforting feeling. It's nice to know that someone is there who has been through training, who knows what they're doing, in an emergency could handle something, and I just think it's a very comforting feeling. That's all. I'm sorry if it's so silly, but I don't think it is silly. It's not. You talk to some of the people that have been as a result of some of the mayhem that has gone on recently. It is not silly.
I beg to differ, but you can agree to disagree.
Right, but I mean, how do we know who?
Let's not get into an argument amongst the
right, but how do we know who is going to flip out or who isn't? I mean, we don't.
Nope, we don't, and that's the way life goes. Any other comments from? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Diane Peckham. I just want to state that I think the mayhem that has been happening and will continue to happen is not by people attending a meeting such as this. It's people that flip out for one reason or another and can come in off the street, and that's where most of the mayhem, I feel, happens. I'm here by myself a good deal of the time. I'm tax collector. Everybody doesn't like me.
No.
That's not true.
That can't be true.
And I feel as though, I'm probably less safe when I'm here by myself than most anybody. Jenny is the same way. We are here by ourselves. For some reason, people like the town clerk better than they do the tax collector.
Because I have more money on hand than you have.
Well, no, because you register their vehicles, and their vehicles, they care more about their vehicles than their houses. But, I would feel much more I would feel much more threatened by somebody charging through the door when we didn't expect it, than somebody that was already here, who had taken courses, who did know what they were doing. That's just my feeling, that, you know, that anytime somebody can come through the door with a gun. We can have no guns in here at all, but someone can walk in here during a meeting anytime they want and shoot all of us up if they want to. If we weren't such nice people.
No, I think about it often because I live here alone at night, or not so much anymore because they've changed my hours. But you can't live like that. You can't come to work and expect somebody, like she said, smash through the door. You just can't do that. You have to do your job, and God forbid something happens, you have to deal with it. But you can't worry about somebody doing that. I'm not going to sit there all day long and worry about somebody coming in with a gun. If they come in, here's the money, see you later. Don't shoot me, that's all. You know, I mean, you can't be that.
Any other comments from the audience? Yes, sir. State your name for the record.
Ed Cano. This certainly is not a silly issue. And we have to hit a cross point at some point to be more respectful to how we all feel about everything. And if there's a citizen or many citizens that are uncomfortable with a firearm being in the building and they request the officer to be present, I think that's a good thing. But I think we should begin to respect each other's feelings a little more and head in their direction. Thank you.
Any question? Any other further comments from the audience? Hearing none. Mr. Nelson.
I'm just wondering how far down the chain this goes. Does it for the Conservation Commission meetings, because something could be ugly at that, ZBA, Planning Board, where do we draw the line?
I said comfort and peace of mind. A citizen should be at a meeting and feel comfortable and have peace of mind.
And I don't miss how I say this, but if somebody feels uncomfortable at a church setting, should the police be there?
I don't think there's hard people at the church.
I have no idea if there are or not. But I guess I'm saying is, where do you draw the line of, at some point in time, they're going to have to hire an extra officer to cover all these things. Maybe it's not this year, maybe it's 5 years down the line. So since we call when we anticipate a problem or if we see a problem, we've done that before. We've gotten up and somebody's gone in and made a call. Hey, we think we're going to have a problem here, and the police officer arrives. So we've done that over the last 11 years that I've been on, and they've responded very quickly. I just think there can be a point where you just go for overkill, or somebody's watching it on tape and they say, boy, they always have to have a policeman here. Boy, this must be some wild town there. That's all.
And Middleton Police have their regular...
We're not Middleton, we're Brookfield.
Right, exactly. And so the people will stay away that feel uncomfortable.
Well, Rich?
Well, I'm pretty comfortable with the resolution of having an officer here. If someone feels uncomfortable, or if we feel uncomfortable. And I think what we should do is let this play out for a while, maybe 6 to 9 months, see how it works out, and then revisit it and see if we want to tweak it. Because I think we've been doing it this way for the past number of years. If someone feels uncomfortable, we get some support. So I don't really see a big change in the way we've been operating, and I suggest we try it and see if we want to change it later.
No, absolutely. Like I said before, Wakefield's been very gracious to us, and they come over when we request, if we know that we're going to have a hot topic that we need to discuss. And the chief has said, reach out to Sergeant Lamb, and they would love to come over and visit us once in a while, or, and talk to the folks here at the meetings, and we will work something out. And of course, if a citizen doesn't feel comfortable coming to a meeting, regardless of the meeting, they can reach out to the police department and explain, why they don't feel comfortable. And Wakefield PD will, I'm pretty sure, send an officer to the meeting with you for the period of time that you need to be in that meeting.
And not just me.
I'm talking any citizen. Any citizen.
And it doesn't have to be a firearm either. If someone feels uncomfortable because of the situation, we should ask for some support. Absolutely.
Yeah. firearms just seem to be a catalyst right now because that's what's in the news.
Right.
There's probably more threat from physical harm from non-firearms than there is from firearms at this point, anywhere in the world.
Hammers.
Yeah, hammers. Automobiles kill more people than firearms do. You know, so.
At least we're out there watching that.
Yeah, but. So, if there's no other comment in regards to this. Yes, sir.
Just a minor comment. Mr. Nelson said something a moment ago. As chairman of the planning board, we meet here and we feel quite secure, most of us in the planning board, because, and I don't think that we need police protection for planning board meetings simply because one of the members of the planning board, who is a very low-key, competent, stable individual, carries a weapon, and that makes most of us feel quite secure against some sort of interloper that might come running through the door with a blazing pistol. So I would just like to state that probably everyone on the board feels the same way I know, and a couple of the other fellows feel that way. So.
Okay. Hearing no more comments, then we will wrap this up, and thank you, Pam. Thank you, Chief. And we'll move back on to business at hand. Tax collector, you're finally up.
I have been audited.
Good for you.
I am all set for the year. Hey, it's a big year, May. I have a copy of my MS-61 for each of you, along with a list of all the unpaid, unredeemed. Because quite often you ask me for one. So I'm trying to be ahead of you today.
This has been filed.
It has been filed, it's all taken care of. The other thing I wanted to bring up, just because Mary suggested I bring it up with you, I have got to order envelopes for my coming year. By the 27th, I have to put in an order because in case everybody doesn't know, that's when our stamps are going up again in price.
Oh, no.
So, yes.
So you're getting a forever stamp, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ordering, what I usually do is I order 2 boxes, that's 1,000, that lasts me a year. I said to Mary Lou, I says, if I ordered, say, 4 boxes, that would last me like 2 years at the same price. We'd save on postage and we'd save on...
For an extra year.
For an extra year, but it would depend on if you guys wanted me to, because it is an extra expenditure and it's not one that I had budgeted for.
What are we talking about?
The difference, I don't know how much they're going up, to tell you the truth.
No, what's
What I usually order is 2 boxes of 500 each. Total price on the 2 boxes with shipping is $538.10. If I order an extra box, that would bring it up to $799.65. Where I save is on shipping, because I can order 2 boxes for $15. I can order up to 8 boxes still for $15 if it comes to the same address. So I wanted to know about that. The other thing, I think, what did we decide about you?
Well, I was going to ask them, because we are low on for our envelopes.
Do you want me to order a couple boxes for the town also?
So we have a difference in the return address. Diana gets it at home versus ours here.
Yeah, but yours doesn't have your return address.
The return address is not. It's the return address on the envelope.
Right.
So it would be 15. If you guys wanted to order a couple boxes, it would be the same price. The $538.10 for 2 boxes.
Are those 2 windowed or a single window with
They're
a print?
whatever you want. No, they're not 2 windowed.
Okay.
They're either the single window, like I send my tax bills out. You guys don't have any windows.
No, we don't have any windows.
They're just pre-stamped with the return address on it.
And you use your personal address for that return stamp?
I use my personal address because that's when my...
But we have to get at least 2, or can we get 1? It's just the shipping will be higher.
Just the shipping will be higher. Shipping for 1 is $9.95, I believe. Just to, sort of a housekeeping thing, just whether or not you want me. And what I do is I order them on my own personal account, credit card, and then get reimbursed after the fact. I've always done it that way. So if you want,
We could use at least one.
But you can't use the same one.
No.
but I can order them for you if you want. I'm just offering to order them when I'm ordering mine,
Right.
if you want me to.
What are?
We're all always gonna be.
No,
in the forever standards.
the question is do we order 4 boxes for Diane right now for the next 2 years at the current stamp rate?
Yeah. That's
Because the
cheapest
stamp
way
rate's
to do it.
going up.
Yeah. And the shipping is less.
And the shipping is less on the 4 boxes, so we'll save on the shipping on the 2 extra boxes and the forever stamps. Because who knows where the Postal Service will be charging next year.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I hadn't even thought that far ahead. I was only.
And then it would be a separate order for hers, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I can have them delivered to the same way as the other one, but.
Same shipping.
So at that point, do we order 2 boxes for the town with the town's return address at the same time?
We're always gonna use them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're gonna use them.
And they're forever stamps that are on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever use window?
Never.
So
I just write it out.
We wouldn't get the windowed ones.
Yeah, you just get the regular.
I only get the window ones because, of course, it corresponds with the addresses on my tax bills. And then I just use them with a sticker over them for other things.
So
It's just up to you guys.
if we ordered them now, we could actually adjust the budget this year to go up to cover that cost, and then next year remove it, that
Next year, there
expense.
should be no.
Because we haven't finalized the budget yet.
That's right.
I'm just about $1,000 a year between the tax, 2 sets of tax bills that go out, the reminder letters, the delinquent notices, the lien notices. I use just about $1,000 a year. Because I of course double up and triple up with duplicate bills.
So it saves us in the long term. Rich?
Yeah, I think we should do it.
Not a huge amount, but it's something.
Okay. I say order 4 boxes for you,
Okay.
and then place 2 box order for us.
Okay, I'll
And
get
that'll
together
save,
with
it'll
Jessica.
save on the shipping for the,
For all of them.
yep. And that means we'll have them on hand. We save on the postage in the long run, and the town's the winner.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll do that.
Diana, I've got a question for your report.
Yep.
You do it.
Ask your wife.
I'm trying to see,
She's learned everything there is to know.
this shows taxes that you have not collected for the past 3 years.
Anything that has not been collected.
So, let's, help me understand again. So for 2011, it's 71,000. 2010 is 30.
I can get my own, but it's easier to look at yours. Unredeemed for 2010 is $26,475.
And then-
2000.
And then these are the penalties and interest?
This is the right one.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yes, it is the right one. What do you say?
This is the total owed to town?
That is the total debits.
Which is?
Interest,
Okay.
that's just a basic accounting procedure where everything has to, debits and credits have to match up. You don't even really pay any attention to that as the amount.
So
Your amount is here. Unredeemed is this amount here for 2011.
And that number?
And that is
70,000.
69,222, yeah.
Okay, and then.
But
so-
see, then you add the interest and cost onto
And it-
that,
and it
which
comes down to
which
71.
comes to the, that's just to make it balance.
And then here we have for 2010, 30,000,
Yeah, well,
26,000
26, yeah.
taxes, and the rest are penalty.
and
And you don't show 12 yet?
I don't show 12 on that one, no.
Okay, so.
That is just all the property that has already been liened.
Okay, so we're.
That's all, the first 2 pages are the debit and credit pages for the regular
So total,
unpaid.
So out of our collected $70,000, if there are $700,000 budget, we're still looking for about $100,000, $110,000 in taxes and penalties.
Yeah.
For 2010.
2009, 10, and 11.
Don't use that line there, use that line there.
Okay.
Okay? That's the line you want to use right there.
Yeah.
Unredeemed.
So that's the liens that are owed.
And this was what was executed, that's what started the,
Okay.
that's what the
So
tax lien.
So the right
is
number
for.
would be 69 and 30? Still close to 100.
But that's just the liens. The uncollected taxes for 2011 is on
You
the
know
page
what?
before that.
What I'm trying to understand, is we've been operating budget.
I'm laughing because we went through all this when we were doing the, okay, go to this page here,
Yep.
all right?
Yep.
Unpaid receivables listed for the warrants.
All right.
Okay, 2010.
Yeah.
This is what's unpaid, right there.
12,000.
That's unpaid, that's the due amount as of today. So this is what you really want to look at.
Wow. So the due amount due today, if everyone paid their taxes, past taxes, would be $212,000
Correct.
out of our $700,000 operating budget.
And that's 2010 through 2012.
That's everything.
But
That's
but I don't see the
everything in a nutshell.
2009 stuff on that line.
That's because it's already been deeded. Or paid. There is nothing outstanding.
Okay. 212.
So this unredeemed liens beginning of fiscal year for $5,577?
That was the beginning of the fiscal year.
Okay, so
not the
that's
end of
been
the
paid.
Fiscal year, that's all paid.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of money, thank you.
That will give you, that's much easier to understand than the MS 61.
Okay.
The MS 61, which your first 3 pages are, that is a state form.
Okay.
And they don't ever make anything easy.
What's important there is
What is unpaid?
we collect taxes for the school board, we collect taxes for the county. We have to pay those bills when they submit them to us, monthly and or yearly, out of our total tax revenue. Well, right now, we're short $212,000 to help pay those bills. So that's why it's an important number to us to figure out how much will be coming in or how much are we short to cover the bills to the school and to the county. That's why we do
We
that.
have to pay our bills regardless of whether the money comes in.
Yes.
That's why the tax rate went up this year, right?
Pardon me?
Yeah, it's not like Washington at all.
That's right.
No, we don't have a debt ceiling. We don't get to vote to raise it.
Thank you. Pardon me?
What happens, Mr. Zacher, if they are not paid? Who pays the money?
We have to pay the money.
Everybody else.
That's
a leading question, obviously.
Oh, yeah. When we go through the process of setting our tax rate, we have to anticipate how big that number is going to be and put a reserve into our budget to cover that shortfall. That's one of the reasons the taxes went up this past year, is because we tweaked that number by 0.5% to have more reserve to cover the expenditures.
Yes, sir.
Can I just ask you, so why is 25% of our tax budget unpaid?
Economy.
Do people just choose not to pay their taxes?
Wow.
There's a variety of reasons people don't pay their taxes. Financial hardships. Some of them don't pay it because they disagree with their tax rate and they're just going to sit on it until we about deed the property, and then they usually pay it. Some people don't pay their taxes until it goes almost to deed, and that's just how they do it. They wait. They're always like 2 to 3 years behind before they pay their tax rate.
Okay.
It's just the way that they pay their rates.
We do, however, collect interest. There is interest accrued on that.
And the state mandates the interest that we charge. We don't have control over what we charge on this. The state's mandated interest is 18%. And that's a high interest rate to be sitting out there on a tax bill. So, but we have no control over that.
Okay, no, I didn't think you did. I was just like, it just seems so foreign to me that someone wouldn't pay their tax bill. It just seems like, it should be priority number one.
Some years it's more than others. Yeah. I mean, in the 9 years I've been sitting on this board, I've seen that number go like this.
Wow.
So.
All right, thank you. We're just curious.
Ms. Fraizer.
I've been shocked sometimes when I heard that people were not paying their tax bill, they're paying their credit cards because the credit card interest was higher than the 12 or 18%. So they're putting off the tax bill instead of, and they pay their credit card instead. And I was surprised. I just had never heard of that, but I was surprised. I heard that from a number of people.
Can they pay the tax bill on their credit card?
No, we do not.
We don't accept credit cards at this point.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
Yeah, I don't think this town accepts credit cards at all.
No.
We have looked into it at times, we have looked into it through the Tax Collectors Association, a lot of the big municipalities do. But basically, frankly, the credit card companies, we're so little, they really don't even want to deal with us, and it wouldn't make it worth our while, because of course you have to pay them also, and it's just, we're so small with it.
Not worth it.
Yeah, and Brookfield doesn't borrow money to operate its budget, so therefore we shouldn't, you know, we don't want to take borrowed money to, no. At this point, we just don't accept credit cards, because again, as Diane said, we're a small entity, and it's really not cost effective, because every credit card that we accept, there's a fee for that processing. So, and you pass that, if you pass that back on to the residents, that means a higher tax rate. Because you're going to have to cover that expense somehow.
Sure.
So by not accepting the credit cards, we don't have to worry about those fees.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
A lot of towns just charge the taxpayer that fee.
Right.
Well, either way, it's passed back on to the taxpayers. So, okay. Any other questions or concerns since this kind of got open to the public? Hearing none. Anything else from the tax collector?
I'm all set.
Town clerk, you're here.
Wow.
You got anything?
Last year we decided that I would do the ballots, right? Or are you still going to do them? Do them.
No, she wanted to know, remember, it's her responsibility.
It is her responsibility to ensure that they get done.
It is.
But I'm sure that Catherine would be more than happy to help you out with that problem again.
Okay, just let me know.
All you have to do is get them ready for, get the information ready for her,
Okay.
and we'll give it to her, and she can print them out for you.
All righty, that'll be fine. I know we talked about it last year and decided that I would do them, but if she wants to do them, that's fine.
Question.
Yep, go ahead.
Virginia's paid to do it. Why would we pay your wife to do it?
It's up to you guys. I'm supposed to do it.
I'm trying to.
I'm going to recuse myself on this conversation because it's my wife who does the annual report, who's been doing the printing of the ballots for the last 5-6 years.
I was going to bring this up under old business. Last meeting, we voted to, I think you have your wife put the ballot and town report together. After I thought about that, I thought of Jessica. She's our assistant now. And when I went to see her, she has most of the town report there coming in as a Word format. So we could go over there and look at many of the documents today ready to go. So I was going to make a suggestion that we ask Jessica if she feels comfortable pulling together, and we revisit that vote. Your point is, we're paying Jessica. And she's got the capability, I think, with Word documents to do it.
I have no problem personally doing that, but we, as of that vote, made a commitment to your wife. So I feel we oblige that we keep that commitment unless she wishes to, because we made the vote, so that's sort of like a contract, unless your wife has no interest.
I can pose the question to her.
Otherwise, I feel to do that another year down the line, I have a problem. But since we made that commitment, we'll leave it, see if your wife.
I'll pose the question to you and report back to you at the next. I mean, we're getting close to this, so I'll let you guys know.
Let us know right away though, because filing starts tomorrow.
I know.
Yeah, I would suggest you don't have to wait till a meeting. Just give us a call or something, because Jessica could start. She has a good number of reports there today.
I was just gathering them, yeah.
But
Yep, I know. I have, that was the other thing. Before some people leave, I'm still waiting for some.
So shall we assume if
Planning board, town
Clifton's
clerk.
wife does not wish to do it, then it would automatically go to Jessica? Is that correct?
Yes.
And Clifton's wife feels that it was a basically a promise that we stick with her for this year. Okay, so you just have to call Jessica.
I will ask her the question. And if she decides she doesn't want to do it, I'll get you the format. Because I already have the whole format.
Yeah, I
laid
don't
out.
have anything, I mean, I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
As ex-moderator and having been experienced in counting ballot questions, I would urge the selectmen or the town clerk to put the ballot questions, not on a separate ballot, a separate piece of paper, even a different color than the election ballot.
And never not on the back.
Never on the back.
No, they're separate.
And never on the bottom.
They're separate.
Okay,
We just have that one that I know what's coming up on the ballot.
no, I think you have two questions on the ballot.
Worry about ballots, just stay out of the building.
I think there's two. I think the planning board has two.
I think the planning board's got more than that.
Okay.
Oh,
At least 3.
really?
Yeah,
There
three,
would be potentially 4.
potentially 4,
Okay.
plus the petition warrant. Yeah, the planning board's actually been a little busy. They, you know, it just took them a while to get to that point. So they finally got everything together. I'll pose the question to her and I'll let you guys know, and then depending what she decides, I will either get Jessica the format and everything, so all she has to do is pretty much it's set up that it's pretty easy to plug and play. And there are a few things that usually have to be retyped, but that's minor.
Now, what about Virginia?
I personally think Virginia should take care of the ballot part of it. That's my personal opinion.
Again, I'm recusing myself from this conversation.
I think Virginia should do it also.
Okay.
You got-
I'll do the ballot, she'll do the town report, right? That's the
So,
way you do it?
you'll do the ballot.
Okay.
Someone's gonna do the town report.
But he has to tell me where, but your wife's been doing. So where do you suggest I go to have them printed?
I will get with you on that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to bring up something about the annual report. I know you've touched on it here. Would you rather have it later on where you have it on the agenda, the thing that
No, we've already opened the door, so when we get down to old business, we're going to skip it. So
Okay.
we'll just discuss it here and now.
I'd like to talk about the schedule for doing the review of the annual report. It's myself, Marilou, and Harriet Wilson that do that review. And we'd like to schedule that review so that we get everything backed up with the right amount of time to do all the edits and formatting and all that other stuff. I also want to suggest that we do that review with a computer and make the changes that we come up with right there, rather than writing them out on a piece of paper and you know, transcribing things. So when I look at the deadlines for when the annual report is needed, it looks to me like February 23rd would be a great day to do that review. That's a Saturday.
The meeting's on the 13th, right?
12th.
12th.
It has to be available by the 5th, so that gives us well over a week to get any changes put in that have to be done, finalize everything.
Well, you got to give the printers some
And
time to
get
get
to the
it done.
printer.
So
That's
I mean,
what, it's about a week and a half.
Okay.
What does the printer usually take?
We've actually given it to them on a Friday and picked it up on a Monday. They were very gracious to us that year. So, I mean, I've worked with Town and Country to print the reports for the last 6 years. So, they've been very good at it. So, I'd like to give them more than 3 days. They would like about 5 days to do it.
So if we had that meeting on a Saturday and could incorporate any other the formatting changes that need to be done, like I said, do most of the edits online right at the meeting, we could have that ready by the next Tuesday, I think, right? And then
I would hope.
have a whole week for them.
Okay.
So that means that also when Jessica talks about who owes reports, that also helps.
Yeah, we're going to jump to that right here as soon as we're done speaking.
And then I understand that the warrant also goes in the annual report, but I'm not sure what the deadlines for the warrant are. And
They're
whether
coming
that
up
fits in.
with the budget, so they're coming up before we have to get, before that would have to go.
I thought so, yeah.
I don't have that date right in front of me, but I think it's,
So we're not going too early by going the 23rd, is what I'm...
no.
Okay.
No.
So, do we need to do anything to set that meeting, or can I just put something on the calendar and let the reviewers know?
I would say let the reviewers know.
No,
Know what?
I know.
So informed. Okay. Jessica, who owes you what?
Me.
Me.
Brad. Treasurer, town clerk.
Yep.
Mr. Mason.
I owe you a 10, but mine
You
will
owe
be the
anything
last.
yet?
Well, no, because Gary Ciccarone does. He left, right?
No, he's out talking to the
Well,
chief.
you make sure you go tell him.
I'll take
I
care
need a planning board. I need a planning board.
And you need the
Brad,
selectments.
And the selectmen. I think that's it. Because we got chiefs now.
Did you get the archive?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Supervisors of the checklist. So I don't know if that's what they're doing in there now.
That's what they're doing in there.
Excellent.
Well, I don't know that that's all last.
Well, they had a meeting,
They had a meeting, yeah.
regular meeting, but
So we should
If you
inform
don't
them
mind, yeah, just
that their
popping
report
in.
is due and commanded as quickly as possible, please.
That's about it. So it seems like everybody knows it's due, so we're in good shape. The other thing I showed Rich, just for the heck of it, I didn't know. I know we have a sketch. Just for the heck of it, I went outside and took a picture of the
What did we use last year?
sketch.
But I think there's history behind that sketch.
This what?
History.
There's history
That's what
behind
I
it.
was thinking too, but I didn't know if a real picture would look.
This is our sketch. And then on the back page, we use our seal. And the town seal was, the original pen and ink was done by Judy Brenner. And the front cover, which is the the Brookfield Townhouse, the original pen and ink was done by a town's resident, Lynn Kirby. And that's just, I mean, we've been using those forever that I can remember.
Yeah.
So that's why we use them, is because they were done by
My
locals.
residents, yeah.
But, I mean, if you wanted to go to a photo, we could do that under the new format. Under this format, it's very easy to put photos in and get
That's what I was
things
thinking,
work
we could at
together.
least, because I'll have to look, I don't know if we have them in there, but it'd be nice to get some photos in there, I think.
Photo was done by a local person too.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
And it was well done.
Was that on your iPhone, Jess?
Yeah.
It was done by iPhone?
So,
Wow.
we're gonna stay with the sketch? Yeah, stay with the sketch. The history's there.
The history, yes, definitely.
Okay. But thank you. It was a
Oh,
great,
yeah, no big deal.
maybe we can fit the picture somewhere within the book.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
So,
Look around.
and we've asked for pictures for the book and for any other historical articles. The neat thing about the new format is it doesn't really cost a lot more to include things like the town history pieces that we've done, that we did last year. And it just gives you something to read besides numbers and warrants in there. So I think you're doing a piece for it, right?
I am on the schoolhouse.
So anybody else
With
that
photos.
would like to think about contributing, please let us know. The more the merrier, I think.
She will send the report to me and I'll forward it to you.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
anything else on the annual report at this point? Mr. Ciccarone?
We will have the selectmen report shortly, too. Or the selectmen.
Well, thank you for offering to give my report.
I'll do my job too, but after, shortly.
Okay.
Okay. All right, nothing further on that? Anything further from the town clerk, since we kind of got sidetracked there?
Probably the best way to go.
Well, it was nice seeing you tonight. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
We
Don't forget
appreciate it.
filing starts tomorrow. You can file Monday or Tuesday, and February 1st is the last day. For those who may be interested in running for something.
All right. Administrative assistant?
Nothing.
Assessor clerk?
No.
Agricultural commission's not here. Cemetery trustees. Code enforcement officer.
Pretty quiet.
Road agent.
Too quiet.
Stop that snow dance.
Every night.
But that's not.
Everything's good.
Okay. Conservation commission. Emergency management director. Hi, Brad.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. I have nothing for you, gentlemen, if you have anything for me.
Get your reports in, please.
Yes, sir, both of them.
Forest fire warden. Hi, Brad.
Good evening, Mr.
Deja
Chairman of the
vu.
board. Nice to be seen.
Nothing?
No, sir, it's been very quiet.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for the forest fire warden.
Absolutely, since it's his turn.
Were we supposed to have called you today? Do you still like calls when we do burn piles? We'd like to be notified in advance during this time of year when there's so much going on. Right.
I like to know, you're not required to have a permit, but just nice so that if somebody calls me and says, hey, we think there's a house on fire, I can say, well, Frank, you let me know who's gonna burn.
So I apologize, we went on heard it this morning.
That's okay. Not a problem.
Okay, good.
Just trying to get the flames higher than the house. Heritage Commission.
Hi there. We are working on the reports for the town report, and we will be having it's a little early to start advertising, but we will be having a St. Patrick's Day breakfast. I'm not going to do green eggs and ham. I know. So it will be March 16th, a Saturday morning. More information to follow.
Joint loss management quarterly. Are we doing any follow-up on that now? Or?
Okay, well, no, because we were trying to figure out the employee, the definition on the employee, and I did get...
Something in writing?
Yes, it's actually on the Department of Labor, that elected public officials are exempt. They're not considered an employee. I talked to them.
Shall not apply to the following:
Yeah.
volunteers, inmates.
That would be the rest of us.
Wait a minute, we better clarify that. Inmates of a county or correctional facility. If you got inmates over at the jail in Wakefield, I'm sorry, they're employed. No. Individuals performing community service under a court order or provisions of a court diversion program. An applicant for employment who is filling out paperwork, participating in screening examinations or interviews. A student participating in non-paid work based on activity approved by the New Hampshire Department of Labor in accordance with Lab 805. An operator of a booth located within a salon or barber shop who operates independently of the salon or barber shop, who possesses a shop license as required by RSA 313-A:17, 2 parentheses B, semicolon, and elected public officials or counties or municipalities. So they lied to us.
Well, I don't.
That really reduces the
When
amount of
was this?
employees Brookfield has.
Yes, it does.
When this all first came about, we got penalized because we weren't having our joint quarterly loss management meetings, and they counted every elected official in the town of Brookfield as an employee, and there was a fine assessed to that. And now, I wonder if we could get a rebate on that fine.
So what does this do to the report that has to be filed biannually?
Does this
the
now
joint
mean,
loss management.
does this now mean that
Well,
we have less?
Well, we have to sit down and make sure, I think we're at like 12.
Okay.
And the cap was 15.
It was 10 at one, for one,
The cap is 15, it was 10 last year.
So now it's 15.
I thought there were two areas, like at 10 employees, you had to do one thing, and at 15, you had to do more.
I'd have to look it up, but
Okay.
15 is the minimum.
Yeah.
So,
So I need to find out what happens to that biannual report.
Okay. Keep digging, let us know. But at least we now know elected officials aren't employees.
yeah.
For that department.
For that department. All right, planning board. Yes, sir, you want to speak to the, on what the planning board's doing, or has done?
Yeah, I can do that. We are preparing the report. I'll say that first.
Okay.
Yes, we've conducted 4 public hearings in the past month. One of them was for the citizens approach article on a town warrant on the ballot for the Robbins property on the lake that you know of, and 3 items that we had for public hearing last evening concerning home-based businesses and some housekeeping and farm stand setbacks. Having done all that, and the attorneys reviewing the language so that it all passes legal muster, we'll be putting them on the ballot in our February meeting. So that being done, and also we have put together a considerable amount of work on CIP, which the selectmen will be getting their hands on prior to the town meeting, but we still have to get input from Brad and Marilou, because there's a lot of information that they possess that needs to go into that. And that's pretty much it. We've done a lot of other housekeeping and things like that, but not of substance that merits conversation here. Cleaning up our wording and renumbering pages to make the ordinances more readable, etc. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay, we're not due for another website. Other boards, committees, Scholastic Fund Committee.
Yes, let me introduce that.
Okay.
About 4 months ago, we received a letter from Stephanie Marsh highlighting some opportunities to possibly change the warrant article or change the way we award money associated with the Scholastic Aptitude warrant article. And specifically, over the past 15 years, we've had a lot more homeschoolers being educated in town, and the way that warrant article was generated, they were not eligible for participating in the award. So the board suggested that we form a committee to take a look at rewriting that warrant article or creating a new warrant article to replace that. And Brian and Stephanie pulled the proposal together. And at this point, they're going to share with us what they've come up with.
All right, you have the floor. And thank you for your work. That one's yours.
Thank you.
Does the board want us to read the warrant article aloud to the...
I think that'd be good.
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right. All right, warrant article is the Brookfield Academic Achievement Award to see that the town will vote to raise an appropriate sum of $500 to establish a scholarship fund to be awarded annually to the Brookfield student graduating from high school with the highest level of academic achievement. Students from Kingswood Regional High School, private schools, and home education programs are eligible. The winners shall be selected by the Academic Achievement Award Committee, comprised of 3 residents chosen by the selectmen on an annual basis. The committee will choose the recipient of the award through examination of submitted application, including transcript, GPA, and achievement and aptitude scores. The candidate must demonstrate that funds will be used for continuing education, for continuing their formal education. The application form, supporting materials, and overall criteria may be modified by the Academic Achievement Award Committee with the approval of the Selectmen. Said fund shall be administered by the trustees of trust funds and shall receive donations from fundraising activities that may take place for this purpose. We've also drafted an application that I think is included there that we would suggest would be posted on the website. It would be easily printed, and then it's in Word format, and it can be submitted to the town along with their employment application.
Well, we did talk about a lot of aspects of the award. The original warrant article said the award would be given on the basis of GPA. And we could have left it saying that, but I think that some people, and homeschoolers submitting grades and grade point averages like that, usually back that up with test scores or descriptions from other teachers and letters. I don't think that a committee would be very happy to receive grades from a homeschooler that were all given by mom and dad and just here's a GPA and here's one from Kingswood and we're going to compare them. They're comparing apples and oranges. So we decided to include lots of different things for comparison, course descriptions, courses taken other places, which a lot of Kingswood students do too. Of course, this award is also open to private school students. So it's just generally we're getting information to decide who has a very high level of academic achievement coming out of Brookfield that year. And we discussed whether the original intention was to give the award purely on the basis of academic achievement or also good citizenship and other things like that. But since it said GPA, we pretty much stuck with the academic achievement line.
Okay. Well, I don't think, outstanding work, by the way. Thank you for doing it. The only question I have is because the scholarship funds have already been created. So what we're trying to do, I guess the question may, we're trying to change how it's administered versus creating a new one. So that would be something that we would have to look at.
I think what we have to do is, if this is approved, we vote to abolish the old one, transfer the funds to the general fund, and then refund this warrant article. I think that's the way you'd have to fund this. We wouldn't have two. Based upon this, we abolish the other one.
And transfer all those funds into the general fund?
And then from the general fund back into this one. That's the accounting way you have to do it.
Okay.
I did believe you had to abolish the original
Yes, that's.
warrant article.
Well, you could keep both.
But then we'd have to fund two.
But we don't want both. We want to replace it, and you can't replace it. You have
Well,
to.
we're amending the old one, but the easier way to do it is to abolish the old one and create a new one.
That's right.
Swap funds.
Okay.
Is that going to require a second warrant article?
Yes, if we take this and accept it, then we're going to have to generate our own warrant article to, based upon this, to terminate the other fund and transfer the monies.
I'm a little confused why we abolish one just to create a new one. Why do
It's the RSA's.
No, I understand. I mean, I haven't read up on that yet, but it just boggles that we have to, something that's already in existence, we can't just modify it to create a new way of applying it. So.
Yeah, well, I guess we have this note from the change of purpose of a
Yes.
warrant article, and
Right.
I guess we thought it would be significant since we weren't really saying GPA anymore, because we felt that would be too debatable if you had GPAs from many different schools and programs.
And that's why we added in that last portion where we could modify it so that it's more of a living warrant article where if we wanted to begin to focus elsewhere, we have the ability to approve that through the selecting down the road. So maybe it's a one-time cleanup and then we want to revisit this down the road.
Well, I like the application because I think what I was going to ask Tom because he's been on the trustee of the trust funds for a long time and has been part of selecting the award over many years, but he apparently left. I believe that like Kingswood actually just submits directly to them the information through the guidance counselors. So at this point, we would be changing that and requesting that the applicant actually, that's applying for the award, to fill out an application. So they would have to be interested in getting the award, so.
Right, and from discussion that, I wasn't here, so I'm sorry. Like,
No, that's
I read
okay.
the newspaper articles and things, but I don't know if it's clear to everybody that not every homeschooled student files their paperwork with the local school district. Many of us do it with a private school, and the guidance counselor at Kingswood does not know what our high school students are taking for courses or have that information.
And I think but you're talking homeschooled, right?
Right.
And that's the difference between, because homeschools were never included, homeschool children were never included in this before. So the change is good, because we want to make sure that the money's going to further their education, so. All right. You gotta run it by legal?
Sure. Thank you.
Bill?
We just want to thank Rich for his support and helping us.
Yeah.
Good.
You're welcome.
Really good.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you for all the work. All right. Any other boards or committees? Hearing none. Old business. Nate Fogg. Preambulation. Hard man to track down, but I finally did. There is still a whole section of line for Middleton, New Durham, that corner up there that he has not found. It's not just one marker. He said he's having a problem with that. I did ask him, I only gave him a day or two notice between playing phone tag with him. He will be in attendance at the next Selectmen's Board to present everything that he has to date, and then to discuss where we go from there. Warrant article draft.
We did a little research with council regarding we weren't sure about the
question was to
selectmen to.
We've got a number of trust funds, what are they called? Capital reserve funds. And when the funds were created, the only way to take the money out of those funds was through a special town meeting. Because the town did not, at that time, assign agents to expend the money. We can come back now and assign agents to these funds, specifically the cemetery fund and the playground fund. That the agents could be the selectmen, or would be the selectmen with respect to the cemetery, and they would be charged with taking the money out and spending it for cemetery purposes only, like the acquisition of land, and that would not require a special town meeting. So we proposed 2 warrant articles that would establish agents for these 2 funds, and the question was, the recommendation was from the board, and we talked about it last time, get the specific RSAs into the article, and that's what we did. We went to the lawyer and she said, this is the wording you want, put this RSA in there, and it makes it quite legal. So that's what you're saying.
Okay, and I'm going to read the 2 warrants that are in question. Per RSA 35:15, to see if the municipality will vote to appoint selectmen as agents to expend from the town cemetery capital reserve fund previously established in 2003. Majority vote required. And then on number 11 is per RSA 35:15 again, to see if the municipality will vote to appoint the selectmen as agents to expend from the Park and Recreation Equipment Capital Reserve Fund previously established in 1990. Now is that different? That's not the playground fund.
Playground equipment fund.
Okay, but that's not what this one says. This one says Park and Recs. There's 2 funds. There's a Park and Recreational Fund, and then there's the newly established, because we had to separate the monies, the
Right.
Playground Equipment Fund.
Can you look on
One is by
the
private
budget?
donation and one was created by town taxes. Yeah, but this is still this only has the one in it.
The report that was submitted from Tom this year, the
Yeah.
trustees split it out.
Right.
Okay.
I don't have the split in that one.
Is the second fund is it a trust fund? What is that fund, or is that just a separate?
I don't know, I don't have it in front of me, but the playground equipment fund was a fund that was created via fundraising and private donations of citizens for the purpose of buying equipment. And I think that
Was that a capital reserve fund?
Well, it was put in a capital reserve fund way back when.
But that was.
Okay. Look right
there it is.
Yeah.
Park, he's calling it the Park Committee Fund, and yes,
Yeah.
it is a capital reserve fund.
Now, on the bottom there, you'll see another $3,000 that was pulled out from the public money.
Yep.
Is that a capital reserve fund, or is that just another fund?
You put it under capital.
Okay, you're talking about note 1 here?
Is that the 3,000?
$3,978.48 raised by the Town and Playground Committee, transferred to a separate account.
Account, not necessarily fund. So it.
But he did, he put it into another trust, he put it into another capital reserve fund.
I'm just saying, did we create that trust fund, or is that the same fund, just keeping the money separate?
It's a separate, it is actually now a separate capital reserve fund. So there are 2 capital reserve funds now that deal with the Park and Rec. One is the Park and Rec Equipment Fund, which was created by town taxpayers using taxpayer money by town vote. And then there's the Park Committee Fund, which was created by fundraising and town donations.
So it's not a capital reserve fund, because you only do that at town meeting. See, I think that might be a mistake. That's just a separate fund.
I have to go back and look at how it was put in.
You should do.
So, because I know that there was a vote at town meeting to place it into the capital reserve fund.
We'll have to check that out.
It was just placed into the wrong capital reserve fund.
But those two are essentially for the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But one is raised by donations
Right.
and fundraising,
Yeah.
so private funds, and the other one was raised by taxpayer funds, and you're never supposed to commingle the two. That's why we actually have 2 trust funds for the scholarship award. We have one that's private donations and one that is town taxpayer money that is
So I may have to do
appropriate.
2 warrant articles versus 1, once we find out.
If we can find the
Right.
one, yep.
That's what we have to do.
Tom would know too, if we have a warrant article on that.
I can call Tom when you want to.
Okay, so those are the 2 that we just need to verify which one, are you talking about this one here?
Well, I want both.
Greedy.
Spent all the money. No, I'm kidding. No.
Okay. So yeah, you'll have to figure out.
I'll call Tom and
Which
find
2?
out. Yeah, because I need to put 2 warrant articles. I just want it available so that when we get everything going, I hope.
On the warrant articles, did you remember to do the one for the possible raise for the supervisors of the checklist?
I don't think we've gone through that yet.
I don't think so. This is
No.
just the start.
The first draft, okay.
Mhm.
Don't forget them.
Are the selectmen currently agents for all of the other capital reserve funds?
I don't know. I don't believe we're agents for any.
How do you?
Historically, when the capital reserve funds were set up, they were set up and only by town meeting vote could they be expended. We have to vote as a town to put monies in them, and we had to vote as a town to take the monies out at the annual town meeting. The common trust funds, the expendable trust funds, are the funds that were set up with the selectmen as agents or other agents to expend. There is an RSA that allows to appoint an agent to expend a capital reserve without going to a town meeting, if that's the way that the town so desires to go. But it has to be voted at town meeting.
So for reval time, you had to, the town meeting, you had to do a warrant article to expend the capital reserve funds before the reval could start.
Yeah, I remember seeing the warrant article on that.
No, the reval is an expendable trust. When it was set up, no, when it was, we put in a warrant article to put monies into it. But the selectmen have the power to expend from it.
Okay.
Because it's expendable.
Because then it's expendable. Yes, we are the agents to expend that.
Okay.
I would just put a note on about the payers and.
Any other discussion on that? So you're gonna verify and straighten that all
Yeah, I wrote
out?
myself a note.
And then the question will be the private monies that are donated, how does that play?
Is
So
it
we'll
a
have to go
separate
back.
fund?
Well, it is a separate fund now because they had to, but we'll have to go back in the book and see how it was put in as a warrant, if they were meant to go into a capital reserve. And then whether or not we can expend
Do you know
those.
how long ago?
Tom would know.
19,
No, Tom knows.
no, not 1990, 2000.
Was that the one that was done in 2009, right before I became treasurer, and I sent Tom notes on it?
That's one of them, but I think we did it, it's 2000, it was 2007, 8, 9, somewhere in there. It's been so many years ago.
Okay.
Here, give that back to her so I don't lose it.
Yeah, I need that. Thanks.
On to new business then.
I've got some new business. Was approached by the welfare director. She asked for a raise. It's been a long time. So I'd like to put that on the table as we're doing the budget. She's currently making $10 an hour. I suggest we go to 14. That's what the other people are making.
Any further discussion? Or is that a motion?
No, it was just a discussion.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize she was making that little.
Neither did I.
So I thought
Neither
she
did
was
I.
making
Neither did I.
14. That's all.
It would come out of the same line, the welfare line. I think we pay her salary out of that line.
And then the number of hours will vary year to year. So
Right.
I really have to take a guess.
Do I hear a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion required to pay the welfare director $14 an hour.
Second.
Effective,
January 1st?
thank you, yes. I don't know if she's put any hours in or not yet.
No, she has not.
Okay.
Last she was paid was December's hours.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any other further new business?
Yes. I'd like to talk about one of the line items on our budget where we charge our stipend. And I want to make sure that the town knows that that's taking place. And I don't know how we want to highlight that, but I just feel uncomfortable that it may not be understood by the town. So I think that's line item 4130-200.
Yes.
So what can we do to highlight the activity that goes on in that line item?
That would be board expenses for those people who are questioning it. And the Board of Selectmen, just to give history on it, the Board of Selectmen receive an annual salary and they receive an expense stipend of $75 a quarter.
Yes.
For any expenses incurred while doing their selectmen's work, to pay for mileage, little things that they have to expend for paper, whatever comes up, with the expectation that you're not submitting a receipt to get reimbursed for everything. And that's been forever that way. So, and this is the first time that it's been brought up in question, so.
I'm not questioning it, I just want it highlighted, that everyone knows we're drawing it.
Okay, well, we just told the world.
That's right, well, we should put something on the budget when we review the budget, that what's in that item.
Well, and I think for that line item, because there could be regular board expenses.
Yes, there
Maybe
could.
you need a
There are.
number in there that would specify that amount.
That would be excellent. The point item below it.
205 or something?
Sure. Is that doable, Marilou?
Yep.
201? Is that what you're
201 and
205.
205.
So it'll be the same amount, we're just splitting it out.
Yes.
I'll go change quick frickin' books.
So that'll change the proposed amounts.
Yeah,
And
but that's all it will
and
be.
the board's quarterly,
I knew it wouldn't be final, I told you.
expense. The board's quarterly expenses will come out of that 2,500 and be moved down to the new line item of 4130205, and the board expense line of 4130200 will be adjusted down that amount. Okay. Any other new business?
Yes. You sent some email out, you're gonna create the agenda from now on. So, and that's fine. So my question is, how do we get action items or things on that agenda?
Okay. I'm trying to think of the date. I didn't have access the other night to the actual board minute meetings. They were in the office and I didn't have my keys on me last night. Back when Craig was a selectman, the board took a vote and made a motion and took a vote that the chairman of the board would oversee the agenda for the meetings. All action items that were to be placed on the board, on the agenda, would be submitted to the board, to the chairman of the board 5 days prior. There's a deadline. It's either, I think it's 5 days, 5 business days prior to the agenda being put out, or to the meeting.
So what's the rationale behind that?
I wasn't on.
No, it was Craig, me, and Ernie. The rationale behind that.
So that you had time to post them.
So we had time to
They had to be posted by.
Post, we just, yeah.
And
we
they have to
wanna-
be posted by like Friday night or something like that?
But we didn't post them this week.
Yeah, we don't have to post the agenda. It was to give everybody ample time to get it on and give the chairman of the board ample time to prepare for the meeting. I don't know, this was Craig's motion. I'm just trying to remember the conversation from way back when.
I think one of the issues was to post them because I know I frequently did post them on the corner.
Yeah, we were talking about posting the agenda meetings.
I guess I'd like to make a motion then that we revoke that guideline and we continue to post the meeting minutes the way we've been doing in the past, which has been check the meeting minutes from the previous week, send an email to the selectmen asking if the agenda looks good, if they would like to add anything to it. Based upon that, we post it on the web. That's what we've been doing for the past 9 months. So I'd like to move that we continue to do it that way.
I have to hear from the chairman, because I'm the chairman on this.
I have no.
So I would like to make one small comment. Since I was out of town, I went to the town website today to see, because I thought there was something at 6 o'clock for the meeting tonight, and the website says the selectmen's meeting was at 9 a.m. this morning.
I fixed that, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I was late. I was really tardy today.
But my point is, if we're going to the website to check the information, the website needs to be accurate. So then I had to call a selectman and say, what time is it?
Historically, our meetings are the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month at 6:30 p.m. Unless otherwise posted.
What happened was,
I'm sorry.
when we were trying to load the calendar for this year, the website doesn't allow you to say second and fourth Tuesdays. So as we were learning, one went in at 9 a.m. today. Thank you for catching it.
Sorry.
Who knows, it was there, sure enough.
It's the default.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mr. Nason?
Back to the point of interest of the agenda. When that was adopted, the planning board, I was the chairman of the planning board, and we adopted the same procedure to eliminate confusion on who's putting what on the agenda, and it allowed the chairman sole responsibility to make sure it was posted, rather than, well, I thought you were going to post it. No, I thought he was going to post it. And it was just a way of consolidating all that information with one person being responsible.
And today we have an administrative assistant that does
Well,
that.
I'm just giving you an insight on why it works very well.
And I think that was Craig's point as well. I think that was part of it.
And the point, we use email today to say, this is what's going up. Do you want to add something, or do you want to modify it? And then when we hear nothing back, or we hear modifications, we post. So I do it by Thursday or Friday. So that's how we've been doing it for the past 6-9 months.
Well, I have a motion on the floor, and actually, point of order is we shouldn't be discussing anything until we have a second for discussions. Okay. So we have a second for discussion, just so we make this legitimate. We have been doing it that way. The control of the chairman's responsibility is to oversee the agenda and to make sure that it is ready for the town meeting. We did say back then that we were going to post it and make sure that it was out there and available so people would know what was coming up on the agenda. I still think that that's a good idea, even though I am guilty of not ensuring that that's been done over the last 9 months. I think it should continue. I think that one person should be in control of the agenda, and I think it should be the chairman that sets that agenda as it is set today. So, in the spirit of how it was set back then, that would mean that the chairman would have to work with the other selectmen to make sure that the agenda is ready and everything that needs to be on there. Any committees, commissions that would be submitting anything, or any private citizens requesting to be on there, would need to get that information to the administrative assistant or the chairman of the board, and the two of them would put the agenda together and ensure that it gets posted 72 hours, 48 hours, 5 days, 5 business days prior to the meeting, and get it out there so people know what's going to be coming up, so they know whether or not that they want to attend in person or not.
And what I was suggesting was that we review the meeting minutes from the previous week. We look at the agenda items that weren't closed, carry them over as old business. Jessica does that without our help. Then we can communicate any additional items we would like to add to that. She shares that with all of us electronically. We have a chance to modify it. If we don't have any input, it goes to the web. And that's our agenda.
I mean, any modifications or changes should go through the chairman.
Okay.
I think the chairman needs to be aware of what's happening, and the one that, because all of a sudden you can have all these people putting down things, I think the chairman has to be aware of what's happening, so it should go through the chairman.
So how do we communicate with the chairman? What's our process?
Carry the pigeons?
Well, I'd just like to understand, so make sure we're clear. How do we do this? Email?
Email?
Okay, that's fine.
Phone?
Well, email's better. We can just write it down and email it to you.
So, leave it the way it is, and leave it the way that it's supposed to be, and I will make sure that I do my duties the way it should have been done. So, I don't know, any further discussion? All those in, if Rich isn't going to withdraw his motion, all those in favor?
Does he withdraw it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No? So all those in favor?
Of my motion?
Yes.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. Any other further new business? Hearing none, we will get the mail and go through the mail and.
Any budget issues we have to go through?
I think Mary Lou's got some. Mary Lou, don't run budget issues. Other than just the updates from tonight, the new line item, this is ready to go. For your,
The expenses are fine.
okay.
I have some questions for Diana on income. And then, but to the best of my knowledge, they are fine.
Okay. So by next selectmen's meeting, I gotta remember, when's our,
Sorry,
Well-
on the agenda, 12.
well, the 12th. No, I was thinking of the, we set up a public hearing. That's on the 12th?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think we need to have a.
We have two
So we're gonna
public
have to have a meeting prior to that. Just to talk budget and only budget and get that done and make sure that this is done. Next Tuesday?
Next Monday?
The 29th?
Got a hazmat meeting that night.
Good, so we'll see the same time.
You got a hazmat that night?
Right here,
What time?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Monday.
And usually how long does a hazmat meeting take?
Well,
An hour?
oh no, it's gonna last to 8:30.
Oh. Okay.
This coming Saturday?
Do I have to go?
I don't think so. It's what's gonna be working at, what's gonna be,
We still have to take minutes.
Still,
Anytime that we have a public meeting, or anybody has a public meeting, minutes have to be kept.
my husband's going to be gone.
How about the 5th,
What's the 5th?
Tuesday?
no, I can't make it.
I don't have my schedule in front of me, so,
Sometime this week? What's today, Tuesday?
How about next week sometime?
yeah,
But
'cause
this week
I
sometime.
can't do
I know
it,
sometime this
I can't do it tomorrow or
Prefer not to
Thursday.
do it this week,
Saturday?
or rather prefer not to do it on Saturday.
Monday?
But if we have to.
Monday?
Monday, the 4th?
No, the 28th.
Yeah, your weekend.
Planning,
We don't have a planning board meeting next Monday, right? That would be 4 in a row.
Not the hazmat meeting?
I have a
You have a planning board member that.
I thought he said that was on Tuesday.
Oh, I thought he said
Wait a minute,
Monday.
they're done.
Is your hazmat meeting on Tuesday or Monday?
Tuesday.
Oh,
Tuesday?
sorry. I thought you said
All
Monday.
all Tuesday meetings.
Okay, all right.
I have a conflict.
On Monday?
Without it, you can have it if you want.
Want to try Saturday again?
What about Wednesday, the 30th?
Works for me.
How about, guys, how about this week or after the 9th?
Go tomorrow night.
Or tomorrow night?
I can't do it tomorrow night. And I gotta be honest and give Mary Lou time to get everything corrected on quick. Yeah, I wasn't, well, thank you. That program that she so dearly loves.
What was that? What's working?
We're trying to give you time.
Oh, I don't need time. Once I get answers.
129 through 210?
Not on the movie though. Yeah.
Okay.
Had to do it.
What are we talking about now? You've knocked off a whole week, so that's,
Unavailable.
tentatively do it Saturday, I'm not sure until I go home.
So, our budget meeting shouldn't take that long.
No, not at this point.
At this point, it's just making sure that everything's ready to go for the public hearing, looking at the corrections of
Okay.
of tonight's stuff and just verifying the numbers. So how about next Tuesday?
How about this Thursday? I can do it next.
How about next Tuesday? The hazmat meeting runs from 6 to 8:30, 6 to 9, 6 to 8.
Today
we
is
do
what?
it at 8. We'll just have
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
Guys, what's today?
Today is the 22nd.
So the 29th is next Tuesday.
Right.
We'll have it after the hazmat.
How about Saturday? You can't do
I don't
Saturday.
have to print out for Saturday.
Right?
Well, you're going to be here for the hazmat, right?
No.
Oh.
No, I thought you were going to be here for the hazmat.
No, I just said there was a hazmat.
All right.
Well, let's work on the possible dates here that are going to work. How about Thursday?
Where's Ed?
How about Thursday?
Hey, we can Ed turn that. No, the other one.
Oh, he's in the.
Get him to turn that off. We can talk about it.
How about Thursday?
No, there's reasons.
All right. Let's take a 3-minute recess to discuss
We gotta talk about that.
non-public.
Are we in a non-public meeting or is this still public?
We're in a recess. We're taking a 3-minute recess. Solid red light means go?
Yes.
All right. We're back in session from recess. Okay. So back to our discussion. Saturday, what time?
Okay.
I don't care.
Mary Lou! Why are you running away? Are you available on Saturday?
This Saturday?
This Saturday.
It's either you or town reports. Yes, I am.
So if we have you come here Saturday morning, that means your town report won't get done?
Till later. Yes, it's fine. Saturday morning's fine.
Okay. What time?
The town's gone.
Whatever time you need. I'm free all day. So it's your, whatever fits yours.
Yeah, whatever fits you guys. I'm available all day too.
9?
9.
9 o'clock?
That's fine.
All right. 9 a.m., Mary Lou.
Thank you, sir.
Budget hearing,
Final budget review.
final budget review, right. So we'll need to post that.
There will be changes.
And when we have our hearing, will that also include, besides the budget, any of the warrant articles?
Yes, it
So we
will,
have to have those.
it'll address the warrant articles and the budget, because those two have to be posted at the same time at the two posting places.
So we will need to discuss whether the selectmen approve or disapprove each one of them as we go along.
Right.
In the sequence.
Right.
Which will be very important.
Right. So we'll have to have all that.
Wait. We're talking about what?
The warrant articles.
The warrant articles come much later.
Because they can submit it, might not.
Yeah, you can submit it. But the warrant articles. Here's your dates.
The problem is we don't want to get ahead of when they can be submitted, obviously.
No, you start from the back. You'll see you can key off of the town meeting. The warrant articles have to be, and I believe they're the only warrant articles that have money associated with them.
We have to have them ready to go.
Yes,
To be
look around.
posted by February 25th.
Yeah, February 25th is the date for the warrant articles.
Yes, and the budget.
Yes.
Last day for the selectmen to post the warrant and budget for all polling places.
That's the posting, but we have to have a hearing on the 15th on the budget.
Which we did already schedule.
Yes, we did, but now there's no putting the warrant article in the same time.
So I guess we don't have to have one on the warrant articles?
I didn't see it, guys.
Should schedule at least one public hearing after February 5th to include any petition warrant.
Petition.
But that's already taken care of. We don't have any petition warrant articles that are board related.
That's
The
right.
planning board had one that they dealt with.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
that makes sense.
So, okay, well, normally, and historically, we've always had the warrants with the budget. When we did the budget hearing, we covered the warrants in the same meeting. So if we're not ready to do that,
I don't think we are, but I don't think we have to be.
You know what?
Because I don't think we have to have a hearing on it. We have to post them by the end of the month
Hearing on what?
on the warrants.
So do we have another meeting before the 25th?
The 12th.
We have one on the week of the, no, we don't, we have it on the 26th. So we won't be able to discuss the warrants in a public format before that.
I don't think we
Last
have.
day to hold a hearing on special revenue funds. Would
Yes.
that be what you're moving around?
Yes.
Special revenue funds, at the last day to hold a public,
Hearing on the question of establishing a special revenue fund, which would be,
Dr. Marshall, Mrs. Marshall's, right? Or not?
you're talking about the
Scholastic.
Scholastic Fund. So that has to have a public hearing.
So we do it on the 12th. If that's the only one we have, that's an easy one to do.
Okay, so that'll have to be, we're gonna have to notice that. Do we have time?
We can't roll all these into one meeting.
We can.
Can we roll these into one instead of having a
I already
separate-
have the other one.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep the selectmen's meeting to a minimum that night and just cover the if the public hearings go long,
That's fine.
then we'll just
So which night are we
cut
talking
back.
about?
I'll do a separate, because we already did a public notice. for
Right,
the
so, but we're gonna
budget.
have to public notice the warrant that deals with the abolishing
Yeah.
of the fund, and then the a public hearing, I guess you could do them at the same time, to reestablish the fund under the new guidance.
So what day
Do
are we
you
doing
have to
this?
put the, explain it?
Yep, it all has to be explained out in the public hearing.
Oh,
Okay,
I
need a
checked the
copy.
RSA on that. You have to say it's going to take place. You don't have to be real specific. You have to say what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
We can do the research on the wording on that. But you got to post it, but you don't have to be real specific.
So what date are we talking about here?
We are talking about February
February 12th, our normal selectmen's meeting.
starting at 6 o'clock, we said.
And we also
We have a budget hearing then,
At
That's
6
right.
p.m.
and we're also going to listen to the.
And then we're gonna have to do the warrant.
Only
Wait a
the
minute,
ones
wait a
that,
minute.
only the ones that have to do with money
We
that were.
have code too.
We have what?
The code hearing that day too. For the
Change.
Oh,
change in
yeah.
the permit.
So we
Okay,
have-
so make sure you put that.
We're not gonna get much done in the regular select board meeting that night then.
Well, that's all right.
That's fine. It's the end of the year anyway.
Well, why would we have the code? Why would we?
Because we're changing the fees.
Yeah.
The fee structures.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's going to be.
Yeah, okay.
I can see a big crowd coming on that one. All the builders will unite against
Yeah.
us.
Okay, gotcha. So we're starting at 6 PM. is that what I have?
6 p.m. that night.
Okay. So we passed the deadline when people can submit something, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The 5th.
That's the 5th, so the 12th would seem to work. Like, have 2 meetings when we have one.
No, February 5th, yeah. February 5th is the last day for the voters to petition selectmen. And then we had to have given notice by February 8th. That's the last day to notice the meeting. We're doing it on the 12th, so we can get it posted on
And
the
the
25th.
last date for the planning board to have their thing to us so we can get it printed and hung up, it would be when?
You're talking about, oh, their petitions.
Do they go through us? Do we just have them?
They're gonna be on the same sheet of paper, we can post them.
They have to, it has to be,
They're already, I believe they're already at their attorney for
Right.
proofreading. So as soon as they come back,
we would need them prior to the 25th, which is the last day to post. So if they could get it back to us before then, nothing says that we have to wait until the 25th to post. If we get this all done and said, we could post earlier.
Aren't the ones the planning board have, aren't they ballot questions? Not,
It doesn't matter, they're part of the warrant.
they're still part of the
Yes,
warrant, so they
ma'am.
still go on there.
They all go on the warrant. And it
So
just
the
says,
voting-
on the warrant, it'll just say by ballot.
Okay.
Just like if you read, I think you're number 1, where it says all the officers are selected by ballot.
Yep.
Okay?
So, okay.
You want a copy? Yeah, you got enough.
I have a question for the public before they leave.
I gotta go grab the mail anyway.
I'll ask him. A hot topic down at the committee that I'm on, Health and Human Services and Elderly Services, was they spent an hour on this. Should they be require that dentures have identification on them?
Absolutely, let's put an ID.
Now, this became it's unbelievable that, and their concern was nursing homes where they find false teeth, kids' retainers when they left them. Now, I thought this was a cut and dry thing. It took an hour to go around this. The person's rights is what that.
It's privacy. Do you need a law to have someone put an ID on a pair of dentures?
Well, that was the issue. They're requiring it to be put on.
But if
you can opt out. That's right. You're exactly bringing up the issue. Should it be a law to require it?
Or does it make sense to just do it?
Well, you think about any other medical piece, when they put a pin in your knee or a metal rod in your leg, it has a serial number. That serial number can be tracked back to the doctor and when it was done. They've used it, the police department have used it to identify murdered suspects on numerous occasions.
How about dentures?
I guess that would be possible, but the problem is somebody who, and this is kind of gross and disgusting, but if somebody stole somebody's dentures and utilized them themselves, if they fit or semi-fit, you would have a false identification. But at least if they were lost, you could return them to the person that they were lost by.
Yeah.
So
I'm asking for public. I mean,
an
hour on this.
My public input is no. Move on. That's my input.
Mr. Nason, would you have any comment?
Yeah, don't do it.
Governor Wentworth School District met, the school board met on January 7th.
Excuse me, any other hot topics out of Concord?
Tomorrow, you're welcome to sit on the chemical
engineers
cremation. It's going to be a hot topic. It's about 12 pages long.
Oh, thanks.
Cremation?
Chemical cremation.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
So we're going to have an acid bath.
That's what it is.
If you wish.
No, we don't wish.
Why is the state involved?
Because it's a health issue. Who knows what will happen? Another issue that came up was a requirement for people going on some of the programs for assistance, should they have to take a drug test prior to receiving it. That was the one that came up today. There were all sorts of people testifying as to the pros and cons, and it had to do with the TANF temporary assistance situation where if somebody applied for that, could you require them to have a drug test? And
drug test for what?
To receive benefits from TANF for the temporary assistance.
Yes.
And
Florida already has that law.
They do.
Well,
and their welfare dropped.
What seems, yes, it's how it's written sometimes, and they put some verbiage in there, and you say, wait a minute, I'm for it, but. And that's the problem. There's another one. I can't think of what's coming up that you'd want it, but the way that it was written, you can't go for it because of the language of the bill. So
this liquefaction, cremation, who's pushing that?
One of the undertakers. I think he wants to get the inside track on it, franchise fee or something.
What would you do with it afterwards?
It's got a lot of
you can't bury it.
Lime and caustic.
That's exactly right.
This is very clean, and you may do anything you want with it. It's not hurt the environment.
What chemicals are they using to dissolve organic material?
I have it, the bill. I'm sorry, I didn't bring it with me.
All right, we have a letter here from the New Hampshire's Association of Chief of Polices in regards to the 2013 Safety Belt Challenge. I am pleased to announce that the Injury Prevention Center at Dartmouth, on behalf of the New Hampshire Highway Safety Agency, will conduct the 2013 Safety Belt Challenge on Tuesday, May 14th at the New Hampshire Police Standards and Training Academy. This is the 20th year that New Hampshire has conducted a Safety Belt Challenge as a means of educating high school students throughout the state about the importance of always being restrained when traveling in a motor vehicle. It goes on to talk about what it consists of. Here is a statement of interest if anybody is interested. Any takers? Hearing none, I will move on. Wolfboro area Meals on Wheels.
Now they want money.
Budget. They're asking for money, they're out of it.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Wolfboro Area Meals on Wheels program, I would like to thank you so very much for your generous donation in the amount of $12.50. We haven't even passed the budget yet.
Well,
and now they're asking for money? Oh, dated December 31st. As a nonprofit program, we are totally reliant on the community support to operate our program. We do not receive any federal funding or surplus food and are providing nutritious meals using the Huggins Hospital's kitchen. Our work is carried out by a coordinator and an assistant managing day-to-day operations, a volunteer board of directors, and numerous other dedicated volunteers who make deliveries. Our program enables participants to stay at home and remain independent as long as possible and helps their family not worry about their daily nutrition. The program also serves as a daily wellness check. Your donation will help us continue our services even in today's tough economic times. Thank you again so much for your needed support in our program.
Do they charge the recipient for
I think it's through Medicaid. I think part of it's paid through Medicare or Medicaid.
Could be Medicaid.
My problem with this is 2012 budget is closed. If we were to pay this out of the 2013 budget, then we would be over budget in that line item for this. They held off till the 31st of December to send it to us. And we got it on January 22nd. It was stamped in Manchester on the 16th of January. So they didn't even get it in the mail until the 16th of January. Thoughts, Rich?
Let's see. I think I asked the question last time. How many people?
I don't remember.
We didn't receive a. I didn't ask them, and we didn't receive a. People do not.
Well, they're not asking for money here. They're thanking us.
They're thanking us for last year's donation.
Did we put any money in this budget this year?
No, we did not, because we did not receive a request from them.
Okay, they're not asking. They're thanking us.
Right.
Okay.
So they're welcome. They're welcome.
They're welcome.
Fine. Last chance, offer ends January 25th for Fairplane. Look again, they really want our business. Give Jessica a file.
Oh, that's fine.
You're kidding me.
You don't want to walk.
Reorder reminder.
I don't intend to walk.
Yes, I just
Reorder checks.
Why are they reminding you to reorder them again?
because they give me a discount as soon as we order.
Oh,
Usually. And we're a special. Oh, these are the deposit tickets we all use.
okay. NEFCO, what is NEFCO? Notice of intent to cut wood or timber.
That goes to Eddie.
Hey,
Give that to Ed.
I got work.
Give that to Ed.
I got work.
Oh, maybe they'll sign it.
There you go. And health notes from Frisbee Memorial.
No more bills?
Not in that pot.
Cool.
And we got the new Lexus revised statute for titles 48 through 50, chapters 477 through 448, which is on conveyance to water management and protection. So we put that in that and pull the old one.
Can I take that one too? What's that one?
No, that one belongs in there already. I'll put it back. I pulled it.
Okay, I can do both.
Thank you. And since you're the collector of the,
Yeah, I know, I'd
the
like
stuff,
to
give her
know.
the chief's information. All right, having no further mail, no further business before the board, this meeting's adjourned.
So,